overcome any enemy and the struggles that you face when they do try to flank you. Do what a soldier does. Turn into the ambush. Turn toward the enemy fire and attack. You never leave something. Those eggs. Here's an Enriqueta radio. Always go to something. If you're leaving something, you're constantly turning around. And, well, I wonder how it was, and I wonder where they are, and I wonder what they're doing, and I wonder what they're thinking. But the moment that you go something, wherever you're going, it fills your life with passion and focus.
Strength is the only path to respect. And weakness has always been a choice. The choice made in the small decisions and the comfortable excuses, and in the refusal to confront hard truths. But here's the thing. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It never has. And it never will. Since the dawn of human existence, there's been one universal law that's remained unbroken. Only the strong are respected. But somehow in today's world, we've lost sight of this truth. Society loves to tell you that mediocrity is acceptable, that settling is normal, that your lack of drive and discipline is something to be excused, even celebrated. But let me tell you something most people will never say. This is a lie. Weakness has never been respected, not in history, not in nature, not in life. And it's remarkable to me how many men walk through this world without even realizing the weight of this truth. They convince themselves that their laziness, their lack of discipline, their mediocrity is invisible. But it's not. So ask yourself, is this the legacy you want to leave? Is this how you want to be remembered? As someone who gave up? As someone who settled? Strength isn't just about physical power. It's about your mindset. It's about how you approach life, how you face challenges, how you respond to failure. A strong man doesn't run from discomfort. He embraces it. He understands that growth comes from pain, from struggle, from pushing beyond your limits. A strong man doesn't make excuses. He takes responsibility for his actions, for his choices, for his life. He doesn't blame others for his circumstances. He looks in the mirror and owns it. A strong man doesn't settle. He doesn't accept mediocrity. He's always striving, always improving, always moving forward.
No, I don't think so.
Strength isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up every day and doing the work, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Challenge yourself. Set goals that scare you. Step out of your comfort zone. And when you fail, because you will fail, don't quit. Learn from it. Grow from it. Use it as fuel to keep going. Remember, strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you earn. It's a process, a journey, and it never ends. The choice is yours. But remember this, the world doesn't owe you anything. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for permission.
Going through Navy SEAL training is one thing I told myself. I wanted to quit every single day. But many dreams die while suffering. And many of us out here have suffered. And when you're suffering, I'm not talking about this physically. I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually. It could be a relationship. When you're suffering, you give up on the very things that you wanted the most. When I was going through pararescue, I wanted to be a pararescueman so bad. But that water haunted me. So when the suffering got too much, my dream died. And pretty much I almost died with it. If I didn't find Navy SEALs and getting past that hump and overcoming my demons and facing my demons every day, I would have never been here. You can't outrun the demons. They'll always know where you're hiding. Trust me at that. And I'll end with this. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. You don't achieve worthwhile goals quickly or easily. They take time. They take struggle. They take relentless pursuit day in and day out. That's what it takes. But also, things don't usually fall apart quickly either. So that's the thing. Success and failure are generally slow processes. You have to watch every single second, because those seconds, they turn into minutes. And minutes turn into hours, and hours turn into days, and days turn into years. Study yourself, make yourself better. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Learn from them. Don't change who you are to become somebody else. Think about the time that you spend in your life trying to be somebody you're not. If you put that time and effort and energy into being who you were and who you are, how much farther along would you be in life?
Biggest enemy is your uncontrolled mind. Observe but don't absorb. Love but don't depend. Want but don't need. Feel but don't dwell. Understand that you'll always have problems. Learn to enjoy life while still solving them. Happiness is not about getting all you want. It is about enjoying all you have.
I listen to this every day.
Just a little reminder, because I haven't said it in a while. You're doing good. You're doing a lot better than you think you are. You've come a long way, and a lot of people are very jealous of where you are. One of those people being you from a different stage in your life. Stop being so down on yourself because you're not where somebody else is. You're where you are, and it's a lot better than where you are.
You've put everything in the dishwasher and then you see it.
If you believe it, if you really believe that you could be something, if you have that little voice in your head saying, hey, you got talent, you can do this, then follow that voice. Life isn't fair. We have to understand that. It shouldn't be fair. It's a trial ground, it's a testing ground. It's built to make us harder. It's built to make us as strong as we can, to test us, to drive us. So, mentality is the only thing that gets us through life. I was an underdog. We're all underdogs in life. Even the baddest person in the world should think that way. So you should always have I've never arrived mentality.
I miss the food more than the people.
It doesn't matter where you come from, the sewer,
Nah, of course I miss it, bro. Fuck's sake.
Nothing should be able to hurt you. If you believe that, it starts to become true. Why would you not go for it? Why would you not take a chance? At one point in time, you got to take a chance.
Bro, I had to leave.
It's the what if.
I knew where it was headed.
Miracle.
And I jumped off the ship.
I can become someone that no one thinks I can be.
I come to the UK and built a life for myself.
But you want to see if you're a brave person, wait when things go completely to pieces.
Bro, I'll tell you this, right? I walked away from me mate at 21 because I knew what direction it was going. I could see the trajectory, you know, and I would have been either dead or rich, put it that way. You see, I was the first of us to fuck up, and that snowballed into a cartel, what I started. You can say, I couldn't give a fuck, I got away from it, I know the truth.
When things are the worst, when your very best deal falls apart,
I didn't want my kids growing up around my fucking mates.
And everybody is mad at you and your car doesn't
work.
No.
Then it's the fuck that, bro. No, it's not your uncle. No, it's not.
Thoughts on true.
They don't want your birthday presents. No, because I bought out drug money. Fuck your money.
Our greatest enemy is ignorance.
I come here for my kids, bro. Not for me mates. Fuck them.
Define who we are. I think what makes life more difficult for people is the judgment they have on themselves about what they believe they're supposed to do or supposed to have achieved.
No, I'll tell you something about me, right? Now, hey Alina, alright, so, how can I put this without you not believing me? I just went back to basics. You know, it's like I lost me discipline, I lost me way, I lost me focus, I lost me tenacity, I lost me hunger, I lost me drive. But I've started reading the book again, so it's like, you know, I don't need to read the Bible. I learned how to read it when I was 15. Me and Spencer McDermott. Believe it whether you want or not, I can't help if I'm good at doing things. I'm good at following orders and protocol. Do you understand? Always have been, always will be. You don't forget to ride a bike. You don't forget when you're a soldier. It doesn't go away. Just because you can't see my uniform doesn't mean I don't wear the fucking thing. But since I've started reading the Bible again, I've started to go back to basics, like listening to meditation, like, you know, David Goggins. I love him. You know, I'd listen to him all day, you know. I've a lot of I love the guy. He's an ex-Navy SEAL, you know, fucking best of the best, mate.
There's no losing, only learning. There's no failure, only opportunities. And there's no problems, only solutions. So to me, what failure is the mother of all success.
Failure is fucking great. Failure's been like my mate.
I seen an article
like a
today
best
where they were
mate.
talking about
Failure.
Oprah Winfrey and how she got fired because she wasn't good for television. Walt Disney,
But
who
success.
got fired, if I'm not mistaken, from a newspaper saying he had no imagination.
Yeah.
You got to take those losses. You got to take those hits. There's
You
got to
don't
be the
bark
valleys,
if you
the
have
peaks,
a
the
dog
ups, the
there.
downs. Once you change one thing,
I did make a deal with God.
you can attack everything.
Never
Don't be
to sell
trapped by dogma,
Class
which is
A
living
drugs
with the
again.
results of
And
other
I
people's
fucking
thinking.
stuck to it.
Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And
Nobody
most
said
important,
fuck all
have the
about
courage
Class
to
B
follow
though.
your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
Being a winner is a curse.
That's not a bad number, Lena.
It doesn't matter how much you've won before.
I've been having fucked up dreams, you know.
You're not a
Really
winner
bad dreams, you know.
until you win again.
Taking me back, like.
And again. And again.
The other night I had a dream, yeah, and I was back in Cherry Orchard, and I was back on that railway line on my knees, with blood coming out of my nose, me eye and me head after being tortured. And then I see me best mate walking up a railway line handing the people who just give me the hiding a fucking shotgun. You know, it's like, I got past that. It's like, but the other night I had a dream and it just reminded me all over again. You know, I can see him walking, I'm on my knees with blood coming out of me. The boys that did it, I tell you, they fucked me up. They give me a good beat and I needed it. Do you understand? See me, I needed it. You can ask any of my mates what I was like. See me, you see the way the family, you see that thing I posted, I'd have been the head of that, one of them in any way. But I walked away from it, and you can ask anyone up there. Yeah, Jude McDonald is on him dumb, good a meal of Mahagut, didn't you come? I couldn't give a fuck what people think of me, bro. You know, I'm 51 this year. I'm a granddad. I'm a father. I'm an uncle. I'm a brother. I'm a nephew. I'm a cousin. Morning, Callie. And I walked away from something fucking insane. You know, you don't understand the structure or the dynamics of Dublin gangland. You know, I do. I got to work in it. You know, and I got away with my life, and not many people can say that. You know, people say, Jude, why don't you go back to Ireland? Why should I? You know, I stayed here. I made the decision. My baby son went to college, went to university. Do you understand? Look what happened because I come to the UK. When I had my son, he ended up becoming a man and going to uni and making me proud by getting the exact same degree as me in psychology. Do you understand? I threw my education away. I should have been in the army, the Irish army. Do you understand? I was destined for it. My uncle even taught me how to shoot rifles when I was a kid. And he's a decorated soldier, my uncle. My uncle was my hero as a kid. And then growing up around the people that I grew up with, I was built for it, you know, because of the tough guys I had in my life. You know, it's like, but like I said, I walked away from God when I was younger. When I was about 15, I walked away from him, you know. And in all fairness, it's like, I'll be honest with you, I've always had my faith, but I walked away from God at 15, and I walked away from God after my ma died. Because I was like, you're taking the piss now. You know what I mean? You've took me granny away from me. You've took Keith Collins away at 15. You took Raymond Vickers away at 15. You took Mark Summers away at 15. You've taken me ma. You've taken me dad. You've taken me brother. You've taken me sister. What are you going to take next? And I said, fuck you. And I walked away from it. I learned how to read the Bible. Here, me and Spencer used to have to get up in front of classes of people and read out. Someone would have to pick a verse in the Bible and we'd have to say it out. When I say a verse, I mean in the whole Bible. There was only 4 of us that could read it, and I was one of them. The whole lot. You see, my granny learnt me the Bible when I was a kid. At night, she used to sit at the table before we'd have dinner, and she'd say a fucking prayer. And if I swore in my granny's house, I'd get a smack in the back of the head. Ah! Will you fucking stop it? Don't you take the Lord's name in vain. Right, one thing I'll tell you, right? I did this one morning, and an hour later, 2 hours later, my brother and sister were dead. That's born to death. So I had to move into my granny's, right? My granny was God-fearing. Hey, a lady, you won't swear in front of my granny, right? Now, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. My granny didn't swear a lot. She swore a lot at me. She didn't just, in public, she was a lady. You know, but I realised something. Sometimes in life you need to get away from your mates and start again, and that's what I did. I started all over again without me mates, without the boys at the Red Wall, without anybody's help, you know. And I'm gonna write about it. Like I said, I grew up with Harpo and his brothers. I grew up with Jay Dunn, Pat O'Dunn, and we all moved up to Cherry Orchard, you know, and the rest is history. You know, like I grew up with a lot of lads that have nicknames. I give half of them cunts their nickname, know that. You know, I grew up with a lot of good lads, you know, that have changed their life and turned their life around, and it's good to see. You know, like I said, I've mates that are household names, gangsters, proper villains. If you lived in Ballier, you'd know who I'm on about. But they're just normal people like me and you. The media put these the media tell a lot of lies too. You know, I have a lot of good mates. I've got a mate that is fucking hounded by the police, and his brother is opened the fucking running club and changed the whole community, got them all doing exercise and fitness and fucking nutrition. But he won't write about that, will he? Shout out to Kenneth O'Driscoll and Cherry Orchard Running Club. I see you, bro. Hey, you should give yourself a clap on the fucking back for what you've done for Cherry Orchard. Hey, I see it. Well done, you. Yeah, fuck you, Paul Williams. Put that in your paper. Yeah, you won't put that in your paper, will you? You'll write about his brothers, 2 of them, who are my pals, both of them, who are my mates you write about. You write about Didi and Harpo. Harpo's changed his life. He's turned his life around. You know, he paid his debt to society, the lad. You know, he used to get crucified by the media. But people change when you get older and you have kids and then you have grandkids. You change. Lena, I've every fucking paper clipping of all my friends upstairs. Just in case I ever need to remind myself about something. But people do change. You know, you grow up, you have your kids, you move out your area, then you blink, you turn around and you're a granddad or a grandma. 30 years is gone. And 1/3 of your mates are gone as well. You know, I'm glad I got away from it because I didn't want my kids to be anything like that. All my mates in Cherry Orchard, a lot of them, their kids want to be exactly like them and they sell drugs and they're all right with that. No fucking way, mate. No, 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 no. I am not okay with that. No fucking way. Bollocks to that. Hey, maybe it's just that in me, is it? Hey, maybe it's just that, is it? Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just that in me. There'd be a cold day in hell before any of my children would want to be anything like fucking me, mate. You know, my son, I made the right decision, Lena. I come here and shielded me son. Lena, I was washing pots in a fucking factory when I could have been selling drugs easy. Right? I wash pots for my kids. I put me pride aside. Your pride isn't going to feed your family. Your hands will, though. You know, when I walked away from me mates, I always worked even as a kid. So I went back to basics and I turned into a civilian. You know, now I'll never be a civilian. When you shoot somebody, you're not a civilian. Now, I don't care what you believe about me or what you heard about me, but I can guarantee you one thing. I have shot people when I was younger, and then I followed on into my adolescence because I shot my brother as well. I've been around that life, you know. I'm not one of these guys, if I shoot you, I'm going to get sick. What's the point in shooting you? But as a drug addict, and I was under the influence of heroin at the time when I did it, you know, you do fucked up shit when you're on drugs. You know, I did a lot of bad things and I asked God for forgiveness. You know, I had to ask God to help me, Lena, because I'd lost my way, honey. You know, I know you're Protestant and all, and, you know, I respect that. It's like, but in my religion, it's like, I went back to basics, Lena. I got very sick. And I've walked away from God a few times in my life, right? But any time I've gone through one, he's always been there. You know, and I go back to when I was 15 in Dublin Christian Mission. Spencer can tell you, it's like this place that we used to go to. You learned about the Bible and you learned about God. And for a few years, I went every year from 10 to 15. That was the last time I went. I went for 5 consecutive years. 5 years, you know, to learn about God and learn about the Bible. How are you, mate? I've not seen you in a while. I hope you're alright. Shout out to Beat Mental Health Issues Together. If you're not sub to his channel, you know what to do, guys. Give the lad a sub. He's got a mental health channel now. I don't mind fucking, like, I like that shit. You know. We need more mental health channels. People just, a lot of people that need to, you just need to understand yourself first, you know. Your head is like a mountain, and this is like a metaphor. Listen to me, I've been in the hospital 3 times with this illness. You have to confront it. You have to face your fear. No matter what you're afraid of, deal with it now. Because I tell you what, I wouldn't like to deal with it later. And basically that's what I've done. I've dealt with everything that I've been through in my life. I can only speak for me. There's people out there that have 10 times the life I have had. And I'd go through 10 lifetimes again for the life that I have now. Fuck what I didn't have. I'm 51, okay? When I was in my 40s, I used to think, God, I haven't got this, I haven't got that, da, 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 da. Fast forward nearly 11 years, and now I think what I have. I've got kids, I've got a grandson, I'm going to be a granddad again in a few months. I'm an uncle, I'm a brother, I'm a nephew, I'm a cousin, I'm a friend, I'm a dad. Yeah, I'm definitely a daddy. That's all. Like, I've always put that before everything. Well, maybe not at the start, but when I got out of Mount Joy, I made a deal with God. Yeah, you get me out of here, and I promise you, I'll dedicate my life to you. And that's what I've done. I've gone hey Jordan, I've gone back to me Bible, right? And it's like a lot of things have come back, you know. So what I've been doing is I've just been meditating while I've been looking and reading my Bible, right? And it's working, it's helping me. It's like food for the brain. Now again, today I'm taking a day off. I hope you don't mind. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just doing something. Morning to you all.
These are the 10 stocks I'm investing in 2025. Let's start out with some usual suspects. Number 1, Microsoft.
Not my
because they really
sound.
cemented their
My
position
sound is
as a leading
grand.
provider of AI-capable cloud data centers.
I think it must
Let
be
me tell you
yours,
something.
bro.
Sometimes the most powerful move you can make in life is no move at all. Just step back
Listen.
and get quiet. Because silence isn't weakness. It's strength under control. It's pain turned into wisdom. It's discipline wrapped in patience. You see, there comes a point in your life when you stop chasing people. You stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you, and you start focusing on you, your peace, your growth, your calling.
Me?
You learn that not every battle is yours to fight. Not every insult deserves your attention. Not every person is meant to go where you're going. And that's when it happens. That's when everything starts to shift. You ever sit in a room full of noise, people talking, opinions flying, chaos swirling, and feel like your spirit is telling you?
Yeah, but there's a dark side. There's a dark side on the internet, you know, and there's a dark side on YouTube. There's too many cunts on here, bro. And I'm no one-trick pony. It's like, and my name's not Tony. But here, I'll tell you this. It's like every other channel that's monetized on Air Circle in YouTube charges money. Except me. I'm the only fucking channel. I feel special. I really do. You know, I can say I'm a noble man. You know, everybody wants to make money. Do you think I need your fucking membership fee? Why do you think I don't charge it? I must be stupid. Or I've another way. I always made a deal with God here. I'll never sell Class A drugs again if you get me out of jail, and he did. And I kept my part of the bargain. No one said anything about Class B.
You to just be still. That's not you being weak. That's your soul whispering. Let them talk, let them spin, let them guess. Because silence, real silence, is a form of strength most people will never understand. In a world that tells you to react, to post, to clap back, to scream your side of the story, silence becomes a rare and dangerous discipline. People will call you distant. They'll call you cold. They'll say you've changed. And you know what? They're right. You have changed. You've grown. You've learned that peace is not found in proving points.
Listen to this.
It's found in knowing who you are without having to announce it. That's maturity. That's power. And most of all, that's freedom. There is a special kind of energy in the one who doesn't respond. The one who no longer feels the need to defend every move, explain every step, justify every decision. You start realizing that not everyone is worthy of your energy. Some people are just noise in your journey, and you don't have to entertain it.
Some people are just noise on your journey. Come here. I want you to write that down. Hey, sometimes noise is a fucking journey. Do you understand? Noise being the people around you talking. Noise is a journey, being a metaphor for over time people are going to talk. They're going to talk good, they're going to talk bad, and they're going to talk shit. I listen to this. I've gone back to basics. I've gone back to reading my book again. I'm reading the Bible again. I don't need to read it. It's come back. It's like, and I said to myself, I've got one chance to do this, and I need to put a few steps in play. Number 1, hit me target. Number 2, get me teeth done. And number 3, write me book, and I'm done.
That's power. When you choose not to respond to drama, that's growth. Silence isn't avoidance, it's intention. It's you choosing peace over ego. And don't let anyone mistake that for weakness. A person who can remain silent while they're being tested, judged, or doubted is a person who has mastered the art of self-control. And self-control, that's the foundation of every strong soul. Silence gives you clarity. When you stop talking so much, you start hearing more, especially from God. The world is loud. People are loud. But truth is quiet. It doesn't scream. It waits for silence to reveal itself. That's why people who constantly need noise don't find peace. Because peace lives in the quiet spaces, in the stillness of the moment when you stop chasing and start listening. When you're silent, you start noticing what really matters. Who really cares? What really deserves your time? And most importantly, who you are when no one's looking. That version of you, the one that doesn't need applause or permission, is the real you. And when you find that, you start building from a place of strength, not insecurity. You don't shout to be heard. You don't have to scream to be seen. Let your silence be your confidence. Let your calm be your answer. Because the ones who are truly strong never have to announce it. They carry it.
You
and
know,
how they walk.
You know, when I tried to end my life, yeah, I had kids, right? I had Dylan, I had Saoirse, and I had me little girl Tilly. When I tried to end my life, I had a young baby. She was only a baby at the time. My dad kept coming to me in my dreams, telling me I was a fuck up, a failure, I lost his money. My mum was drinking too much. She was taking all the money out of the bank. Long story short, she didn't leave the insurance money in. He was paying her for 31 years, you fucking dummy. £290,000 she lost me over fucking alcohol. That's why I hate alcohol. I don't drink. My granny warned me. She said, you'll put your hands on women or on men. You'll be an addict one day or you'll be an alcoholic. My granny told me when I was an 8-year-old kid that I'd be a fucking junkie or an alkie. And she fucking was right. You know, she seen it when I was 8. She told me. This is what's going to happen to you. She knew because of the fire I was going to fucking... My granny was smart. Trauma. She dealt with it. You know, me uncle, he's a decorated soldier, but half of him are still in Beirut. My granny knows all about soldier mentality. She was married to one. Two of me uncles were soldiers, one of them decorated. A fucking hero. But she warned me as a kid. She said, you're going to be like your dad. Or you're going to be like your ma. Get out of here, you. The smell of your minch. Get out. Okay. He wasn't. Hey, go read. Go look it up. You fucking idiot. It's there. You gobshite. Anyone who lived in Bluebell Flats will tell you. Here, Christy Knowles. Yeah, he went to Beirut and Lebanon, you moron. Twice. 1980 and 1981. Go and look it up. You fucking sausage. What do you know? Get out of here, you tart. Fucking raising me voice on a Sunday. Why didn't one of you get rid of her? I have a sore hand, you know. Me uncle, his name is Christy Knowles. He served in Lebanon. Beirut, he went twice, 1980, 1981, and while he was over there, an Irish soldier got killed called Derek Smallhorn. Google it. Google it. My uncle was a hero, just like everybody in his battalion were. They all went over there to help fucking UNICEF, peacekeeping force. Yeah, my uncle. And all his battalion went over there. On 2 tours, they went over to help the people in Lebanon, and they got shot at. You know, they had RPGs fired at them. Do you understand? Proper war zone, you fucking tart. What do you know about serving your country, you fucking idiot? Oh, fucking hate cunts like that. Yeah, I know. Well, like I said here, I'm not going to lie about something. I don't tell lies. You know, like, Lena, when my uncle was over there, one of his mates got shot dead. His name is Derek Smallhorn. Google it. Derek Smallhorn. Small and then horn, as in Smallhorn. It's like I said, it's a very unusual name. So if you type in soldier killed in Lebanon, Derek Smallhorn, do that for me, Lena. Not now, but in a little bit. And see, can you find something for me, will you? I'm sure it must have been in the paper. You know, them boys went over there to Beirut to help the people, and he got shot at. Do you understand? He had grenades thrown at them, RPGs hitting their convoys. Do you understand? And back then, Lena, the convoys weren't as protected as they are nowadays, because if you see the Humvees, the way they're protected, the size of them, big Saracens, like the RUC vehicles, except bigger and chunkier, you know. Like, they build them for bomb blasts, you know what I mean? Like for IEDs and shit like that, you know. But they went over there to help the people, and they got fired at, and a couple of them died over there the second time. You know, one of the lads in my class, and Kenneth O'Driscoll was in my class, and there was a kid called Derek Smallhorn, and his dad was killed while on active duty away in Lebanon. And I remember seeing his coffin coming back to Baldonnel Airport. Yeah, that's what annoyed me, that, you know, I seen his coffin coming off a plane with an Irish flag on top of it. And it's like one day I want to shoot the son of that bastard. You know, but because of my choices, it didn't happen. You know, I started taking drugs and I fucked my military career up. You know, I wanted to go to the army so I could learn discipline. You know, because I'd lost it. You know, I needed some direction, you know, and I believed back then the military would have given me that, you know. But it didn't happen that way, unfortunately. You know, I made the wrong choices, and because of my choices, it cost me my career. You know, so then I went down the other road. You know what I learned as a youngster was, I'd never needed anybody to hold my hand. You know, I always acted myself, and if anything happened, we'll deal with the consequences later. That's the kind of mindset I had, you know. But once I become a father, man, that all changed, because I was thinking, how would I feel if my son come home with no eyebrows, red-eyed to fuck? Like, I'd be thinking, I've lost control here. He's 15 years old. No, he's not even 15 years old. He's fucking much younger. I was about 13. Between 13 and 14 when my eyebrows were shaved. You know, me mate let me go home, man, and didn't tell me. You know, knocking at the door, my dad's looking at me like that, and I'm like, he's on to me. He must know me eyes. He knows I'm stoned. He's like, are you taking drugs? I said, no. He goes, where's your fucking eyebrows? Oh man, he grabbed me, Hulk smashed me all around the hallway, you know. I mean, them bastards must have been laughing. You know, they sent me home, the cunts. I got him back though. I got his eyebrows, so we're even. I didn't get the full 2. I just got 1 and a bit, and he woke up. You know, Lord rest his soul, Moriarty. He was a good old skin, he was, Bert. You know what I mean? He was a good old, you know, he accepted it, you know, for what it was. We had a rule: if you don't wake up after being called 3 times, you're right, and you have to have witnesses. We used to have this thing where if one of us fell asleep, you'd get called 3 times, and if you didn't respond after the 3rd call in front of witnesses, your fucking eyebrows is gone. And it become a trend. You know what I mean? Like, and they got me first, the bastards, but I got my revenge. Yeah, I had my vengeance, and I took nearly 3 of their eyebrows. Whitey's, Pat McGuire's, and Murray's. 3 of them I got. They got me first, but I got them all back. You know, but I miss that, I do, like, but like I said, I walked away for the sake of my son's future. You know, a lot of my mates, their kids have grown up and they're doing exactly what we used to do when we were youngsters, and it's not on. You know, you want your kids to do better than you did. You want your kids to have education and use that as a tool. You know, and it's like, it's up to you. If you want to choose to waste your fucking life, go do it.
How they breathe, how they navigate the storm without complaining about the rain. Weak people talk about what they're going to do. Strong people just do it. Quietly, consistently, powerfully. And when it's done, the whole world takes notice. Not because you told them, but because you showed them. That's real strength. That's what silence builds, a legacy, not a performance. There's a reason why they say still waters run deep. The deeper the soul, the less noise it makes. You don't see a storm inside a shallow puddle. But when the ocean is calm, that's when it's at its most dangerous. That's the kind of silence you want to build. The kind that's rooted, still, undisturbed. People will poke at you just to get a reaction. They'll test your patience just to see if you'll break character. But when you stay silent,
I'm sorry to
when
hear
you
that.
hold that peace with a steady hand,
just found it about private. Wow, thanks, Lena. Thank you, Dale, thanks for that. You know, I was at the funeral. I was there when his body come off a plane in Baldonnel Airport, and you want to see everybody crying, Lena. You know, my granny, like, she was fucking broken, because she knew him. Do you understand? He had fucking dinner at my granny's house, Lena, loads of times. He was my uncle's best mate. You understand? And you get fucking clowns coming into the live here. Everything I say, motherfucker, I can back up and I can prove. Lena's just found it there. 31-year-old. Well, the way I see it is my granny raised me a certain way. You know, she made me swear on the Bible I'd never hit a kid or a woman, and told me she'd haunt me. Lena, my granny made me put my hand on that Bible. You know, my granny would have been proud of me going back to religion and going back to me book, because like I said, we're all our own monster at the end of the day, and it's like, I've always had religion with me as a kid, you know, it's like, and I walked away from it. It's like, but I've gone back to reading the book. It's like, and it's just opened up something in me, like, you know, I had a bit of I seen something a few months ago, and it restored me faith. So I said I'm gonna start reading my Bible again, because I know that's what my ma wants me to do. You know, like my ma, you know, she taught me a lot. And I miss her to death. But you have to carry on. That's all you can do, you know. I'll see her one day. Now, here.
that's when you earn respect.
I'm not ignoring you. I've got 15 minutes left. Like I said, right, I do this every day. I've started to go back and open up my spiritual side, and I've gone back to Stoicism, and I've gone back to loads of things. But rather than listening to music, you see, this is what I do in silence. I don't normally do it on me live. I just listen to this shit, and I have a joint, and it relaxes me.
Not just from others, but from yourself.
Thanks for coming in.
You begin to realize you don't have to respond to everything that doesn't align with your purpose. Silence makes people uncomfortable because it forces them to sit with themselves. When you stop engaging in arguments, when you no longer react to every disrespect, when you stay quiet in rooms where you used to scream for attention, it sends a message that says, I've outgrown this. And growth is silent. You'll never hear a tree grow, but one day its roots are so deep and its branches so strong that no storm can shake it. That's what silence does for you. It deepens your roots, builds your core, prepares you for seasons you can't even see coming yet. And when those storms come, you won't need to yell. You'll just stand, unmoved. And don't think for a second that people don't notice. They see your silence. They feel it. They talk about it. Some will be confused by it. Others will be threatened by it. But the right ones, the wise ones, they'll respect it. Because silence forces people to look inward. It holds a mirror up to their chaos. And when they can't pull you into their drama, when they can't shake your peace, they start realizing you're not like them. You're building something different. You're building stability, discipline, purpose, and that can't be bought or faked. It can only be earned in the quiet. We've been conditioned to think that strength is volume, that we've got to shout to be powerful. But But silence is the language of the strong, the healed, the whole. It's the ones who've been through hell and came back standing that learn how to be silent. Not because they have nothing to say, but because they know saying it isn't always worth it. They've learned the value of letting things go, of walking away, of choosing peace over pride. And in that choice, they find freedom. Real freedom. The kind that can't be shaken by gossip, disrespect, or misunderstanding. Silence teaches you patience. And patience is a weapon. In a world of rush, you become the one who waits, who watches, who listens, who moves when it's time, not when you're provoked. And when you move like that, you become dangerous in the best.
Like I said, I've got 10 minutes left and then I'm away. I'm going to make a couple of sausages. It's a bank holiday today. Is it a bank holiday where you were, Lena? It's a bank holiday Monday here.
Pink does more than you think.
I like listening to these, you know. They help.
When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." It made an impression on me, and since then, for the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart.
The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A.
I honestly believe that if you're focused and passionate and driven, you can achieve anything you want to achieve in life.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become.
And ladies and gentlemen, I started working on my dream, and most people don't work on their dreams. Why? For many years I didn't. One is because of fear, the fear of failure. What if things don't work out? And the fear of success. What if they do and I can't handle it? The other thing is that most people, ladies and gentlemen, they get comfortable. They stop growing, they stop working on themselves, they stop stretching, they stop pushing themselves, and they end up becoming very cynical about life, and they throw in the towel on themselves, and on their families, and on their dreams.
The limitations exist only in our minds, and if you start using imaginations, then your possibilities become limitless.
If you're passionate and driven and focused in what you do, if you're really good at it, people will take notice. That's basically it. See, sometimes we can't say, I can do that. But what we can say, that it's possible that I can have my dream as we run toward it, as we work on it day in and day out.
Guys, I'm gonna end my live in 5 minutes. Thanks for coming in, and I hope you all enjoy your Monday.
To take a chance, and most people won't do that. Most of the people that you talk to try and bring them into the business, these are not risk takers. Most people have done all that they're ever going to do. They raise a family, they earn a living, and then they die. But people who are running toward their dreams, life has a special kind of meaning. And here's what I will share with you, that in the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain, a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. But in the process...
Right guys, thanks for coming in. I'm gonna end me live, and I hope you all have a good day. We out.